Sex sells. The old adage may be true, but in 1967, the Rolling Stones were finding that even if sex does sell, it might not get airplay. The rock band's fifth studio album, Between the Buttons, saw the Stones attempting an unusual sound. Psychedelia and Baroque pop played on organ, marimba, dulcimer, vibraphone, kazoo, and theremin, along with some more traditional rock and roll instruments. What wasn't so unusual was the band's single about sucking and fucking. Released as a double A side with Ruby Tuesday, the Stones' sexual single was given far less radio play than its counterpart. While Ruby Tuesday topped the Billboard charts, the other side of the record only managed to hit number 55. Radio wasn't the only medium that was hesitant to let the Stones play. Ed Sullivan initially refused to let the band perform the song on his show, then relented on the condition that they change the lyrics. The band begrudgingly agreed, and lead singer Mick Jagger sang the sanitized lyrics on TV while rolling his eyes to express his displeasure at the censorship. This small act was enough to have the Rolling Stones banned from the Ed Sullivan Show, but only for a couple of years. Even with censorship on the radio and TV, the song still made its way to the people, and 6 years after its release, the track would make an appearance as a cover on the album of the latest British rock superstar of the time, David Bowie. Hot off of the success of The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, Bowie set about writing material for his sixth studio album, Aladdin Sane, while touring across America. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the one cover on the album exemplifies American philosophy of being bigger, louder, and hornier. So horny, in fact, that Ed Sullivan died a year after the song's release. Of course, in 2026, both the Stones and Bowie's version may seem absurdly tame compared to the language and subject matter of modern music. In fact, the suggestion that one has to sleep over to engage in sexual activities seems outright quaint. That's right, we're talking Let's Spend the Night Together by the Rolling Stones on Bowie Me.
Let's spend the night together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together.
That's right, it's Bowie Me, the only podcast that compares famous songs to their many cover versions to find out which one needs some guiding, baby. I'm your host, as always, The Snake, joined by my tongue-tied co-host.
Alex Mildenberger.
Hardly even an act. Alex Mildenberger, what's going on?
Just gotta act natural, baby.
Hell yeah.
What is going on? Getting back into the swing of things. We're coming back from, I'm coming back from my little Christmas break.
Alex is on a big fucking holiday.
And it's obviously the new year, as we established.
It is the new year.
In the past.
And has been for at least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks, yeah. And just enjoying that fresh, new, tender year.
Yeah, that wee baby of a year.
Wee baby of a year. It's very cute. It's very soft, and it has a funny smell.
Mm-hmm.
That's positive in a weird way, but it also reminiscent of vomit.
Yes, but like a good vomit.
Yeah.
Yes,
maybe
the
even
new
yeasty.
year.
I don't know.
Yeasty?
I don't know why. Like bread.
Bread.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because the new year has been well bred.
Maybe it has. How is it going on your end?
Here in the beautiful land of rain and rain, it's been raining.
It's been raining?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
We got
a Chinook, so it's just windy.
It's just windy. That's how you guys make ice there, is you're like, well, we're gonna get a heap of snow.
We better melt it a little bit before it freezes again.
And then freeze it up right again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what else happened? Our window finally got replaced.
Oh,
we have a window, instead of a piece of plywood, and it only took almost exactly 6 months.
I'm so sorry for you that it took so long. I'm glad it's in there now.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that that room has a lot of windows, so missing one wasn't the worst thing.
Right.
We still had 3 other windows. But yeah, if we had no other windows in there, it would have been so dark all the time.
Yeah, definitely. That would have been an issue.
But, yeah. In any case, it's all good again. We have window.
You got window. You got Windows 11 now.
Yep, we've upgraded. And now we have one window that has a better crank than the other ones.
Nice.
So, I don't know, man.
You'd have to get all these other cranks replaced.
Might have to. And we just did. The other ones just got replaced, so I don't know.
Oh, jeez. Take it up with the board, man. You're on the board.
Yeah, take it
You
up
can
with
make these
myself.
kind of decisions. Yeah, I'll bring it up. Be like, I'm approving this out of the board's budget to get me some new cranks.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that, I'm sure.
I'm
But
sure.
what you can't do in a board
maybe.
meeting is talk about the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
It's one of the few rules of any condo board. 'Cause
Let's
things
talk
just
about the
get too
Rolling
fucking
Stones.
horny.
And they're horny.
And they're horny and they're hot and bothered. And we've talked about the Rolling Stones before.
We have talked about the Rolling Stones. Not in a while.
Not since.
We talked about Beast of Burden. Was that
Yeah,
the
was
last
that the
time?
last time?
That can't be the last
No,
time.
Paint It Black was, I think, the
That's
last
right.
time.
Which was a while ago.
Yeah.
Or as I like to say, didn't we just talk about that a little while ago?
Yeah.
No, it was 2023. And then we also talked about them for Gimme Shelter.
Gimme Shelter.
Way back.
Classic.
But yeah, the Rolling Stones. They're they're one of the classic British rock groups that sort of broke out and are still around more or less. Like not all of them, but like an impressively large number of them are still around.
Yeah, shockingly not the
and they
ones you
perform.
think would be dead.
Yeah. Keith Richards still alive.
Still
in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Yeah, they
that happened
haven't
in the
taken him out
past.
of that.
They haven't taken him out of that retroactively. I don't know if he's been in any of the other ones. I didn't check.
I would doubt it.
Are they still making those?
No way are they still making those. They stopped. I think they made 5 of them.
Yeah, there's at least 5 of them that I know of.
They're going to wait, and then like when Johnny Depp's really old, they're going to get him back in.
He's going to be the Keith Richards character for another one.
Yeah, for
He's gonna be
Shia
the
LaBeouf, I
father.
bet.
Yeah, for Shia LaBeouf. Exactly.
Be the new Jack Sparrow.
2 actors I haven't seen much of in a while. Johnny Depp and Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, I think, did something.
Yeah, I think he did. I mean, they've both done things.
They've both done. That's true. They both have done things.
But anyway, yeah. So Pirates of the Caribbean, the Rolling Stones. That's what's happening this week.
That's what's yeah. Not really Pirates. This is nothing to do.
No,
with
this
it.
has nothing to do with Pirates of the Caribbean.
This is 40 years before that Pirates of the Caribbean movie. This is the 5th studio album, Between the Buttons. I don't really know. I know Rolling Stone singles more than I know albums.
Yeah, and like this one, I know because I had, and maybe you do as well, a record, like a hits record, like or a singles record maybe put together. Called something like High Tides in Green Grass. Do you remember that record, that final record? It was in the like stack of records that for a while, because I owned some records but didn't have a record player, I like gave to you to listen to.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I have it back.
You do,
I don't know the history
thought,
there.
I thought I owned Candio by the Cars for a long time.
But
and
it
I was
was
like,
me.
no, wait, that was Alex's record. So I had to go buy it last year. I was like, fuck, I got to get this.
Big hits, High Tide and Green Grass.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that.
It's the first compilation album by the Rolling Stones. And there we go. I have the US edition artwork if you look it up on Wikipedia. And yeah, it has this song on it. And then that was kind of, I mean, that wasn't my first introduction to the song. That was my first introduction to the song, the Rolling Stones version of the song. But of course, I was familiar with the Bowie version first.
Yeah, this was another one I was shocked to find out is not a Bowie original.
Yeah, it fits the album well, right?
Fits the album well. He does add a few, like some words and some very classic, like a Ziggy era flourishes to it. It
Some
feels very
Bowieisms.
Bowie.
It does. And like, I mean, part of it is the song is like sexual in nature, right? Like it's a bit, it's risque. Well, it's fairly explicit actually. Let's spend the night together. Literally, I guess still a euphemism technically, but like a small step removed, certainly in the public understanding from like, let's have sex.
Yeah.
Like that's the name of the song.
That's essentially the name of the song is, let's fuck.
Yeah. And David Bowie just like makes it really feel more explicit, I guess.
More explicit, more frantic. a little more like drugged up. It's got the 70s sleaze layered over it.
Definitely. That's all there.
Yeah, which works really well. I find it very fascinating because the two songs I know for sure from this Rolling Stones album, Between the Buttons, are the ones that were released as a single together, Ruby Tuesday and Let's Spend the Night Together.
Right.
And they're both, to me, very like the Rolling Stones doing their best Beach Boys.
This definitely has Beach Boy. I mean, there's a particular moment like in the bridge that's very like Beach Boysy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do like the a cappella stuff, you know?
Yeah, when they sing, they sing and like harmonize. And I have heard of, the Rolling Stones described as like kind of the followers of the rock and roll world. Like, did they ever really innovate that much? Not as far as I can tell.
Right.
They're always there. They're always successful, not necessarily not making good music, but not like leading the charge.
Yeah, they're not trailblazers. They just do a good job of what everyone else is doing. They do good blues rock. Once everybody else starts doing psychedelia and like ragga rock, they do a good job at that too. Yeah, they're never breaking ground, it feels like.
Yeah, other than maybe pushing the boundaries a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with this song, there's another song, I think it's later on. They have a song that's called Bitch. And like, I remember like, like it's pushing the boundaries of like decency, I guess, what would have been called decency and is still actually called that. So I don't know why I phrased it that way. But back then they would have been like, oh, you can't sing like that. And you said even in the introduction, like it seems quaint now. And we talk about that all the time. Like, let's spend the night together. Oh, it's almost cute because it's like a euphemism. But back then it was like, you can't say that on the radio. We can't play that. And even like regarding Bitch, the story I've always heard, haven't looked into it. I just heard it on the radio.
Right, and took it as fact and held on to it.
And took it as fact and have held on to it for 20 years exactly. Is that they could say you could sing the word bitch, but you couldn't say it. So they couldn't introduce the song by name.
Unless they sang the introduction.
Right? So they would have to be like, this is like a Rolling Stones hit or whatever. And then play the song and everyone would kind of know what they were talking about. But like they weren't allowed to say bitch because it would get censored. So like, obviously that's a different example, but it does seem very quaint now because like the idea of having that particular word in a song is like, yeah, whatever. We do that.
And so even the censorship on this was like either not playing at all, or sometimes I believe they would like take out the word either spend or night.
That's so funny.
So it's just like, let's the night together or let's spend the together. Like,
spend the together.
Just bizarre censorship that doesn't really and like even reading the song and listening to this song this week, like all of the Genius ones are like, hey, it's about eating pussy, man. His tongue's tied from licking so much clit, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I thought he was just maybe like a little coked up.
Yeah. And like nervous.
Talking too much. Yeah.
But like, it can be taken, most things can be taken multiple ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was an intentional double entendre or whatever, but it kind of worked.
Yeah. So we get a very interesting song from the Rolling Stones. That, I mean, we're going to talk about it more and more this episode because that's the premise of the show, folks. We talk about the song.
Yeah, that's
but
what
I think
we do.
right now we're going to get into the lyrics, which start with him saying, my, 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 my.
My, 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 my. That's not what it sounds like, actually.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it sounds like, but it's either one, just nonsense, or him being like when you say like, oh my, because something is quite impactful.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example that it's like a Jagger.
A Jaggerism?
A Jaggerism. Like, does he say my a lot? Maybe not. But for some reason, my mind is telling me that he does. But it's just like ad-libbing.
Yeah, I feel like he's an ad-libber guy, if not a my guy.
He is. That's what he uses those lips for.
Those big old lips.
That large mouth with a tongue.
And then he uses them to sing some lyrics too, which I believe I think this is a Richards / Jagger. Yeah.
Yeah, they wrote it together.
A classic duo. We were talking about classic duos last week.
We were.
These guys are a classic duo.
Mm-hmm.
Begins like this. Don't you worry about what's on your mind. Oh my. I'm in no hurry. I can take my time. Oh my. I'm going red and my tongue's getting tied. Tongue's getting tied. I'm off my head and my mouth's getting dry. I'm high, but I try. Oh my.
Right. I guess he does say I'm high.
He does. He says it right there. But that could be.
I'm high here like another euphemism that means like I'm turned on?
Yeah, it could just be like emotionally elevated. Like,
Yeah.
I'm because we're either spending time together or fucking or what have you, or but his mouth's dry, which makes me think of cocaine. But also,
But also being nervous. Like if you're
being
nervous and
nervous,
you're
yeah.
talking, your mouth can get dry.
And your mouth is open and eating so much puss, like it's drying out.
Yeah, exactly. And like I'm going red and my tongue's, well, obviously the tongue is potentially a reference to oral sex. But yes, I'm going red. Going red is associated with blood flow. Blood flow is associated with a lot of things, including nervousness, embarrassment, and like sexual things.
Mm-hmm.
Erections.
Erections. You heard of them, folks?
Blood flow. You heard of it? Huh?
Huh? You kids know about boners?
Yeah. Kids know about boners these days? They teach that in school anymore?
Teaching that in school anymore? They barely taught it when we were in school.
They barely taught it when we were in school. We did go to Catholic school though, so
yeah. So that's part of the problem there. Yeah, it could be. So you're right. It could be him getting nervous. It could also be him like getting red from the side effects of doing drugs. Tongue getting tied. It's because I do just have this idea. It's because of the line, "Don't you worry about what's on your mind."
Yeah.
That I think that maybe the intended interpretation is like, we don't need to do small talk because we're gonna do a bunch of fucking. But it also sounds like he's like, I'm just gonna keep fucking talking because I'm so high.
Yeah. Or like, could just be like, just relax. You know? Don't fret about all these things that you might otherwise be worried about. Let's just be together. Not like, don't talk about it. Although it does sound like that. Like, don't worry about that. Here, I will slowly talk about things.
Yeah. He's just like,
and also,
no, go
I mean,
ahead.
there's the I'm in no hurry. I can take my time.
Yes.
Kind of both either makes it sound like he's like, I'm not going to force this. We'll go in time that we see, the time that works for us. But also if you're looking at the like purely sexual interpretation, could just be like, let's have sex for a long time.
Yeah, I believe it is at least partially that, and partially like, don't worry about like small talk and all that shit. Like, we're gonna have time for that because we have the benefit of knowing the chorus is let's spend the night together.
Right.
So beyond just being like we're gonna really enjoy and engage in long-lasting sex sessions, it's like we got time for everything tonight. So like, don't worry, we'll start with this. We'll see where we're feeling, and we're just gonna do it all because we're not in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something like
all night.
Semi-romantic about that, but also like horny.
Yeah, it does go for the horniness. Or it seems like it could be. It's like veiled enough, obviously not enough to not get censored, but enough that like reading it, you could ascribe the meaning of like, oh, he's just nervous.
Yeah, the tongue tied, the redness, the mouth getting dry, like you said, all classic symptoms. Even the I'm high, but I try is just like, well, I'm feeling out of it, but I'm doing my best to be in the zone here. Yeah,
like you have heightened emotion when you're anxious, right? Like, and he's trying to not be.
Yeah,
it all works.
It all works. It works on at least 3 different layers, but it all makes sense. It's about wanting to spend time with a person overnight, which we get in the chorus, really.
Yeah.
Let's spend the night together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together now. My. Oh my.
My.
And that's, let's fuck.
Yeah, pretty explicit. They're spending the night together, and he wants to do it. Because, I mean, that's another thing that is a line that is used a lot in like pop music. I need you. I need you tonight, or whatever.
And I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever.
And it's about, I guess, depending on the context, it's like, I am horny or I am
Mhm.
lonely or whatever. But this doesn't seem like it's a lonely thing. It could be,
It could
but
be. But I think
um,
it's leaning more towards horny
it's leaning more
slash
towards
like
horny.
caught up in the moment.
Yeah. And then literally just says it again with now on the
Now.
end. Let's do it now. Which doesn't make it seem so much like he's not in a hurry.
Yeah, because it has to be tonight.
Has to be now, has to be tonight, but also doesn't negate kind of what we said before about like, well, we've got all night. We don't need to rush
it's like
tonight, but we do need it to happen tonight.
we do need it to happen tonight. Tonight has to happen tonight.
Yeah, it's not contradictory or anything, but it's kind of funny
No.
that it's like, we got all the time in the world, but it has to happen now.
Yeah, it's almost like I feel like it's just a filler word. Like it's more there for meter than it is for meaning.
Yeah, because you get let's spend the night together. And then he says now after that anyway. So it's just
Yeah.
like sliding that closer and cutting out the next part of it
Mm-hmm.
to like
But
sort of change the meaning. But yeah, I'll just like almost add like an exclamation point onto that sentence.
Now.
Now.
And some people will do that. They will add an exclamation mark. But we're going to add verse 2, which says, I feel so strong that I can't disguise. Oh my, let's spend the night together. But I just can't apologize. Oh no, let's spend the night together. Don't hang me up and don't let me down. Don't let me down. We could have fun just grooving around, round and round. And oh my.
Oh my my.
Oh my.
Oh hell yeah.
You got to put on that party dress.
Exactly. There could be a party dress involved.
You never know with the Stones. But
Yeah.
this is, I feel so strong. That could be his boner. He can't hide.
Could be. That first sentence also does kind of seem to contradict the first verse when he was like so nervous, but now he's like feeling maybe more confident at this point. And
be.
maybe that's because he's getting high.
Yeah, then he's high.
Who
He could
knows?
also be saying that he's like, since he's so out of sorts, he cannot hide his feelings. But he's also not going to apologize for that.
Yeah.
He's just going to be there. He's just going to feel these feelings.
Right. He can't cover it up because he feels them so strongly.
Yes.
And that's probably like that he wants to, be together with this person.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to like sort of a plea to them, don't hang me up and don't let me down. So, I mean, basically those both mean the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. But like, or kind of, it's like, don't leave me alone and don't like spend the time, but also in a disappointing way, right?
And
Like,
don't do a bad job. So don't leave me
don't
alone.
like, I guess maybe it's like, don't ignore me and don't like lead me on kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would be my interpretation of them.
I would
those
say that's
two lines and how they
a
would
good
differ.
line. Because like if you're going to do it, don't do a bad job, but also don't not do it.
Yeah, exactly. So like, do a good job.
Yes.
Basically. But then he said we could have fun just grooving around. I don't necessarily know what grooving around is unless it's the same as like fooling around. Is he saying like it doesn't have to be sex? We could just do whatever, like etc.
Yeah, just dancing would be my guess,
Just
like grooving
dancing?
around. But I do think we get innuendo in around and around and around.
Yeah.
Sort of
that's a good
a
point.
repetitive motion. And then the other thing that grooves is like a literal record, which
True.
you might put on to take things to Bone Town in 1967.
There's a groove on there. A groove on
Yeah.
there.
And so and again that repetitive motion. It's like, hey, we could just have fun fucking.
We could do it.
We could do that. And oh my because the my is here. Everything that's sexual innuendo in and of itself.
Oh my, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's sort of like almost like a replacement. Like you don't say the thing and you say, oh my, because that's your reaction to seeing the thing.
Yes. Because it's just so sexual. We get a chorus, we get an interlude, we hit the bridge. You know I'm smiling, baby. You need some guiding, baby. I'm just deciding, baby, now. I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together, You need some guiding is a little bit of a questionable line.
Yeah. There's definitely a couple ways you can look at it.
Yeah.
Probably
gonna
the more generous.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Both of them. I would say the very slightly more generous would be that it's just like maybe an inexperienced person,
Sure.
and you have to be like, no, it's all right. Like, here, let me show you, or whatever. Versus like, why are you refusing this or that? You just need some guidance, and
Right. I didn't see it as a refusal. I saw it more in the inexperience, but like, let's list off top reason for inexperience in sex. It's
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Although it's also, we still talk about it nowadays, but it was probably more common in, this early rock and roll and like blues rock and stuff of like, it's such a like trophy to like have
Like a
sex
rock
with
star.
a younger woman,
Oh,
Well,
and
I
also,
mean,
yeah.
for the rock star, to be like,
Mhm.
my girlfriend or whatever is young.
I got a girlfriend. She's 16.
Exactly. Thanks, Bruce Springsteen.
Thanks, Springsteen. What's the
She's got
deal
school
with high
tomorrow.
school girlfriends? Famous rock
Exactly.
star Jerry Seinfeld.
Famous rock star Jerry Seinfeld, famous guy who has been involved with suspiciously young women. Jerry Seinfeld,
who has been to prom more times than he should have.
Yep. So it's the lines back then. Again, I don't know how much better it is now, but definitely it feels to me like this older stuff is much more likely to like brag about this sort of thing.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, I should say.
If we're going to be kind to the Rolling Stones, to Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, we can say that they're in, this is 67, they're 5 albums in.
Yeah.
They're rock stars.
They're rock stars.
So and the image of rock stars is sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Sure.
And so if you were to ask people in 1967 who you would go to for sex advice, maybe they would be like a rock star.
Obviously
Like-
a rock star.
Like these guys know sex. So regardless of who is with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and the other members of the Rolling Stones, they're gonna need some guiding, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
That's the most generous interpretation.
That's the most
give.
generous interpretation. There's also something I'm curious about. Obviously, there's a lot of, rock and roll stars from this era who definitely would not care that much if like they had sex with someone who was underage,
Oh, for sure.
I'm not saying that. I do wonder though sometimes some of these lines is almost like they're undercover or explicitly saying like, I would definitely have sex with a person in this group, and it's like, is
Right.
it made to appeal to someone? Like, because it's popular music,
In
right?
this sort of like their teen pop idols kind of sense.
Right. They're aiming the music at younger people. Is it maybe misguided attempt to be like, yeah, I'm including, like, I'm mentioning you in the song so you feel like you're a part of this thing? I wonder sometimes how much of it is that, but then I remember like things that actually happened and think, I don't know, man. I think they really mean it.
Yeah, I think this is a genuine reflection of sexual encounters with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards.
Yeah.
I believe Jagger was probably more the lyricist. And also
Yeah, I don't know. I think so.
probably get laid more.
I don't
I don't
great
think
question.
I don't think there is malice in this bridge. I don't
Right.
think he's actually like, I'm fucking minors.
Yeah.
And that's a bad thing to do. But
it does present this like innocence, right?
it does present that he is sort of predating on some kind of innocence. And then of course the line, I'm just deciding, baby. Like without the line, you need some guiding. Because basically what he's saying is, I'm just figuring out what next fun sex thing we're gonna do together is. I'm just
Right.
deciding, baby. I'm picking our next move. I'm putting on the next movie on Netflix to and chill to.
Yeah, exactly.
But the use of the phrase guiding is a little weird.
Yeah, makes it definitely more questionable.
You need some grooming, baby.
Like, I don't know about that.
We'll work on it. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe because it comes off due to many factors in the Bowie version, perhaps primarily the 70s sleaze. It's more digestible for me in that context.
Right.
Because he's more of a character, more of a freak. And we're coming off the back of like Cracked Actor was on the A side, which is a real sex degenerate song.
Definitely.
So there's like more, it's more like comfortable in that world, whereas here We're on the backside of Ruby Tuesday.
Right. There's like a character to kind of hide behind.
Yeah.
As opposed to this feels more direct. This is like Mick Jagger telling you these things.
Yeah, Mick Jagger tells you that this doesn't happen to me every day, oh my, let's spend the night together.
Mhm.
No excuses offered anyway, oh my, let's spend the night together. I'll satisfy your every need, and now I know you will satisfy me. Oh my.
Yeah, that's it. That first line does almost seem like it's addressing the like rock star groupie thing.
Right.
He's like, oh no, it's not actually that common for me. Like, probably
I'm just a regular guy.
Just a regular guy, you know. Although the no excuses offered anyway. I don't know. He's like, but if it did, it wouldn't be a big deal. Is that what he's saying?
That could be it. The other common context for the phrase "this doesn't happen to me every day" in the bedroom, which you would then not offer an excuse for,
is erectile dysfunction.
Or premature ejaculation.
That's
dick
right.
troubles, if we want an umbrella term.
Yeah, actually, no. I think that makes more sense in this context because it does kind of seem like there's minor or major, but probably minor dick troubles. And then he's like, but no, I'm not going to make excuses. And then like, it's not going to matter. And then that's probably why people think it's a cunnilingus song.
Cunnilingus, yeah, because he's like, don't worry, I'll satisfy your every need with my tongue and my big Mick Jagger lips.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the best connection there. Because it does seem like maybe something went wrong, but he's like, I got a backup plan.
It's got to be pre-Jack, because then he says, I know you will satisfy me, because he's like, because I just busted.
Already. So, I mean, yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
That's fun. Hey, man, no excuses offered anyway.
Yeah.
We've had a cuck anthem on Cover Me many years ago. Now we finally got our first premature ejaculator anthem.
Oh my gosh. Which one was the cuck anthem?
That was Love Really Hurts Without You.
Ah, that's right.
Ocean.
That's right.
And probably others, if we're being honest, but that's the
I mean,
one
in
that
theory,
comes to
any
mind.
song about cheating.
Yeah, Here Comes the Night.
Here Comes the Night, yeah.
Others.
Here Comes the Night, they already broke up.
Yeah, so he's like hanging
Jesse's
on.
Girl?
It's really his.
Kind of.
Jesse's Girl?
Not really.
Is an attempt to cuck, maybe?
No, yeah, it is. It's an unrequited love situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's, I mean, is there another explanation for this? I guess what I said, but then it can't explain the excuses thing, really. And then just like satisfying.
Yeah, and then it's just like, well, fuck, and it's going to be tight. It's going to be so good, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that I do like the something went wrong, but it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, that is kind of like sweet. There's like some of this song is almost sweet.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Yeah. It is. It's a fun song, you know?
It's a fun song. You get an outro. There's sort of lines in there. It's all the lines you've heard before.
Yeah.
I'll satisfy your every need, comma, woman. That's new, technically. But
I
it's
beg you,
basically the same.
baby.
I beg you, baby.
But, you know, it's similar to like, where is it? I don't know. Yeah. First verse. Is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
I'm getting up. No. Oh my gosh, where is it? Well, I mean, yeah, just description of what's happening in the chorus. Let's spend the night together. Now I need you more than ever.
Now I need
Like,
you more
don't
than
say
ever.
no.
Yeah. I beg you is on that, and then following
Don't
that,
hang me up and
come
don't
on.
let me down. That's the line I was looking for.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So surprisingly, the Rolling Stones song "Let's Spend the Night Together" is about somebody proposing that two people spend the night together.
If you can believe it.
Yeah. Also, there's more than likely drugs involved.
With the Rolling Stones?
No way.
What?
But what's going on in this song? We got piano, dude. We do
have piano.
bass.
Quite a bit of piano. There's a lot of like it comes in with that like almost like honky tonk like ragtime kind of piano. You know?
The tone on it is definitely there. It's playing essentially the chorus at the start. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, exactly. That's your main melody, and then they come in with the backup vocals, ba da ba 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 da, which has that melody as well. There's a bass in there, right? It's really buzzy.
Yeah, playing at the left speaker, I think.
It's like real buzzy.
Yeah,
We
just
talked
really
about
driving things along.
We talked about like the Who in terms of like
Mhm.
making your bass like really trebly. But this seems trebly to me.
Yeah, because I was almost not sure if it was just a growly guitar or if it
Yeah,
was a
me too.
bass.
But I think it's got to be a bass just because of it's got like a dullness to it.
Yeah. And there is
Uh,
bass
yeah.
credited to Keith Richards on this.
Oh, that's interesting.
And you hear the guitar because it's a lot more trebly. It comes in pretty quick. Doing kind of like stings and licks on the top.
Yeah,
there.
and it's not very distorted.
No.
I mean, this is 67. So like early days of like relatively early days of like let's do distortion. You know, this is
Yeah, it's interesting
Yeah.
because we're gonna go a year later for our first cover, and it's like full on distortion.
oh yeah, that's like different context.
Yeah,
But yes, definitely feels very different. But yeah, that guitar just kind of playing like like chords.
yeah, it's almost like it's entering like the jangle pop realm. It's like
Yeah.
very high, very clean.
Yeah, very clean. And like light.
Yes,
The drums are kind of neat too. I mean, the drums get the like pop, 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 pop thing going on or in the early part, but then once you get
they're
into the
very
verse,
singular,
it's basically just a
yeah.
rock beat.
Mhm.
That's I think Charlie Watts on the drums.
Charlie Watts, the jazz drummer of note,
Mm-hmm. And
rest in peace,
Rolling Stones
and
drummer
Rolling Stones.
of note.
Yeah,
So the structure is interesting because like we talked about it as if it was like verse, chorus, bridge, whatever.
yeah,
But the second half of the verse to me really feels like a pre-chorus. Starting on like I'm going red and my tongue's getting tied.
yeah. It definitely changes up,
It
at
does.
least vocally.
Like the piano kind of follows that vocal melody and that da 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 da, like playing that kind of expanding chord.
Oh yeah,
And then like similar to the intro, and then the backups kind of double the lead instead because before they were
getting
just doing like
tired.
ba
Yeah.
da ba ba, but now they're doing that like you said.
Yeah, like
Tongue
every
getting
element
tied,
changes.
tongue
You're right.
getting
This is a
tied.
pre-chorus.
Yeah, it feels like a pre-chorus. And then that's also like there's like backbeat strums on the guitar here.
Yeah.
When you're transitioning into the chorus. Yeah, so it's quite different overall.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get a chorus.
The
You
chorus,
know?
which is oddly reminiscent of like the first half of the verse,
It
minus
is
Babadapas.
Yeah, because now every like the lead vocals are doing that melody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then night together. But there's also some doubling on the vocal track.
Yeah.
They got the backup vocals and they're all singing in unison.
Yeah. You know, the nobody ever talks about the Rolling Stones for their harmonies, man.
Yeah, but man, they really got the harmonies, you know?
They're kind of a fucking harmonies band,
Like a
if you think
harmonies
about
band.
it.
The drums also go back to what they were doing in the intro. So yeah,
Yeah.
chorus and intro very, very similar.
Very similar.
So when we move into the next verse, again, we haven't changed a whole lot from the previous verse, but
No.
the big thing is the backup vocals are singing "Let's Spend the Night Together" instead of just going ba da ba da ba da ba
That's right.
to the tune of "Let's Spend the Night Together."
Yeah.
So they're like real words now.
Like we've
And,
revealed
yeah.
it.
That's like the biggest change.
Yeah,
in this
otherwise it's
verse.
very steady.
Very similar, yeah.
Very similar. Is the next big change the sort of like Beach Boys breakdown?
The other thing I noticed was on the second chorus, there's a different guitar, possibly just louder. But I didn't hear it in the first one.
Oh yeah. Kind of like 118, you get a few things in there, like a higher piano, a bit of a different guitar in there. Right after Let Me Down.
Don't let me down. Right, that's like that midpoint when you get into the pre-chorus,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, more or less. That's right around where it transitions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly similar. And then the bridge / breakdown. The lyrics on Genius split it into two sections.
For some reason.
So fair enough. But like they're pretty similar. But yes,
Yeah.
that's the Beach Boys breakdown. At least like when they start to harmonize, it really sounds like they're doing a Beach Boys
doing
thing.
these oohs, and then Mick Jagger taking the front. And then instead of drums doing the rhythm here, so there's apparently a story behind this.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Andrew Logue Oldham, who was their manager and producer from 1963 to 1967. So apparently, while they were recording this, or while they were in the studio, like mixing it or something, the cops rolled up because the front door was open, and they're like, "Oi, what's going on here, then, love?" And then Oldham's trying to get this snapping noise because he's like, there needs to be this like snapping rhythm. He gets the cops to wear the earphones while he snaps. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
now the cops are audio engineers for some
Yeah,
reason.
that's very funny. And like I'm sure Glyn Johns, who's the one who tells this story, was happy about he's the recording engineer.
He's like, great, fucking
Like,
cops are
cool.
here, and
Get the police to replace me.
we're getting their input on rock and roll. Johns, who must still have his own set of earphones, is like, what if it's something more wooden? And the police were like, well, we got these truncheons or like billy clubs, and they're like,
Yeah.
all right, sick. So they, I guess, smack those and record it, and that's the rhythm you hear in this breakdown.
Yeah, which is like so amusing. It does sound, it gets compared to a clave. Yeah, it's just kind of like a vaguely wooden sound.
Yeah.
Tick, 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 tick. You know? That's cool.
Yeah, the story sounds fake, but it seems to
does.
be real.
But it's also like, okay, back then they were like maybe a little less particular about, they're recording like, oh, they said it was in California.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That was
interesting.
my
So I don't
question
know.
about it. So they weren't like, what was all this then? Because they were
Yeah.
American cops.
Yeah, they're American cops. So they were just like, yeah, shoot your guns repeatedly.
We need some kind of percussive element.
Oh, man. Okay, I was thinking, because I was like picturing it as like being like streets of London, and like there's just like an open door because it's downtown. I guess the same thing could happen
Could happen in Hollywood.
But I don't know.
At the RCA
Anyway.
studios. Yeah, that was one thing I thought was weird about it. It's just, but I believe cops having nothing better to do. That part of the story checks
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's what happens there. Other than that, yeah, there's like these layered vocals. And
Yeah,
they do the
there's,
like ooh doo doo doo.
Like organ here as well. This is kind of where we
Yeah.
get real organ sound, which is going to stick
Yeah.
around.
Do 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 do, because they're doing the Beach Boys.
Yes.
And
then
then
we
it like
pick up.
very explosively like returns to the other style, which I guess that's the bridge part. Kind of. It's like kind of both, right? Because I think he sings "I'm Smiling."
You know I'm
Softly?
smiling.
Now I don't
baby.
remember.
You need some guiding, maybe. Bowie kind of breaks it up a little differently, but in here it's like
Yeah.
that section, like the smiling guiding section, is the breakdown for Bowie, whereas for the Stones it's actually the ramp back in.
Yeah, because he says, "You know I'm smiling, baby," and then like that's when kicks in, and then the
Yeah.
guiding baby. That's when like everything is back, and then this
Mhm.
organ too. It kind of drones.
Yeah, you get the drums in there. We got the organ screaming now.
Yeah, and like everything's loud. I hear more piano too. It's
Yeah.
louder. Yeah, everything's bigger. But then yeah, we kind of just like finish up the song, right? There's another like verse pre-chorus section.
Yeah, it's essentially outro from
Yeah.
here on out.
Yeah, and it made me think like it actually has been a while since we've done a chorus when it does a chorus. But then yeah, that's the outro.
Yeah.
Very similar, but it has the organ. It's maybe a bit louder, but yeah, it's very similar. And then as we go into the end, it just seems like Mick Jagger's kind of ad-libbing a bunch of lines.
Yeah, the ad-lib king, you know.
Yeah. More like ad-lib, because he is known for his
Honestly, take some lip away from that man.
lips,
Big old lips.
his large lips.
Yeah, that's the song though.
Yeah.
Sort of like if the Beach Boys were a little more rock and roll.
Yeah, they definitely have that Beach Boys influence here.
Definitely have that Beach Boys. I would say though, coming to the Rolling Stones version from being like a lifelong David Bowie version guy, this version sounds like a demo.
It does have. I find like a lot of things in this era kind of do.
Right.
Because a lot of them did have covers from like the early to mid 70s, and just a combination of like improved recording technology and like improved a lot of technology, you know? It just
Right.
made things sound better. When I say better, I mean like more true to life, you
More
know?
high in terms of their fidelity.
Yeah, high fidelity. That's what I'm trying to say. And there's like some stuff from this era that kind of has that, but it's like the really expensive stuff. I think. But
that may
yeah,
be
it's
right.
definitely kind of a turning point in terms of technology.
Right, in terms of actual recording technology.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the Stones are gonna sound like that, you know, very soon. They're gonna
Hmm.
sound better. Um, but it's an interesting era.
Yeah, I think it's less about the quality of recording for me and like more so the pacing of the song
Okay.
and also just the bada ups kind of feel demo-y.
It is a little like of an in-between song, I
Yeah.
too. Like what is this in terms of like a movement? I don't know. It's
Hmm.
not blues rock. It's not the Beach Boys. It's not psychedelic, you know. It's just a song.
It's just a song. It's an odd song. It's catchy. I like it. But I like it better when people cover it, which we're going to talk about after this short break.
Ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba.
We're back talking covers of Let's Spend the Night Together, starting in the year 1968 with Muddy Waters.
Muddy Waters.
Let's spend the night together now, woman, I need you. Oh, I know I need you more than ever, girl. Let's spend the night together now.
Is a legendary figure in the blues and beyond. The Rolling
And
Stones
beyond.
notably named themselves after a Muddy Waters song.
Oh, yeah.
It's called like Rolling Stone or whatever.
Like a rolling stone. I don't know. That was Bob Dylan.
Yeah, that's the one. And yeah, he's big in blues. He's known specifically for these like they will say Chicago blues, but it's kind of like electric blues.
Yeah, they call him the father of modern Chicago blues. And
Yeah,
his
which is wild
electric
because he's from
blues
like
is right.
Mississippi or something.
Hey, man. He gave birth to it in Chicago.
Yeah,
Came
I
from
mean,
Mississippi.
he's allowed to move.
He's allowed to move. He's allowed freedom of travel. And yeah, this is electric blues music.
Yeah, and obviously this is kind of like a boomerang where it's coming back around. But these electric blues obviously had a big influence on like rock and roll through like blues rock and
Yeah.
stuff.
Some people don't even really differentiate blues and rock all that much because they are so tightly intertwined.
Yeah, I remember at times hearing like, oh, this band was really bluesy at first and then they became more rock later on. I'm like, what's the difference?
Yeah, like,
There
what
is
do
a
you
difference,
mean?
but
There
it's
is,
not
but
necessarily obvious if you just listen to a lot of like classic rock.
yeah, it can be splitting hairs at times. But this one starts out with a guitar rhythm that sounds like Sunshine of Your Love.
It does. And hearing these things always makes me think of like blues and blues rock use a lot of like standard riffs.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably this. I don't know where it's from originally. There may be a name for the riff, but yeah, it's very similar to Sunshine of Your Love. But then there's also, what's the riff? Da-na-na-na-na. Like that's a really common blues riff. Things like that get reused a lot. And there's others as well, but I can't think of them.
Yeah, but this one is here. So a lot of this song is like that rhythm, guitar noodling, and then like some organ filling in the back, some basic drum rhythm like a rock beat, and then Muddy Waters delivering a real like real bluesy like belting kind of singing. It feels good for this song. I think it is it makes a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of blues songs that are directed specifically at one woman and are like, hey, let's fuck. So I think this slots right in.
Yeah, it fits. And then I mean obviously just like the blues arrangement makes it feel a little more, I don't know. I mean, we talk about like, especially we've already mentioned like the David Bowie version like cranks up the sleaze. I wouldn't call this sleazy, but a lot of the things that like glam rock does to be sleazy, you can find in the blues, right?
Yeah, and delivered without the sort of like theatership around it.
Yeah.
It's more like authentic or feels more straightly
Yeah.
delivered or something.
There's a directness to it. So I wouldn't call it sleaze,
No.
but there's a reason that like things borrowed those elements to be sleazy, you know? I don't know what that means exactly, but I'm trying to emphasize the fact that it doesn't really feel sleazy, but like it's still got that like electric blues feel to it, and you still
it
have
does
those like
feel
distorted guitars.
sexual though.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to.
I
to
believe
look
this
at it.
guy wants to smash.
Yeah. And then like the Rolling Stones version was like a little cleaner feeling. Even like we mentioned, like while the bass was very distorted, the guitar kind of wasn't really, so it didn't have it on the same level.
Yeah, they're drawing on sort of strange ideas in that Rolling Stones version. Hitting like aiming for Beach Boys, but being too much the Rolling Stones to land it.
To be able to do that, they don't have that like California good old boy teenager thing.
Yeah, they're not
because they're the Rolling Stones on their 5th album.
Exactly, they're not clean enough for that. They like even lyrically, like we kind of said, it's like there's a couple of lines that are sweet, like very, but then there's everything around it. You're like, oh, okay,
yeah.
It's very much like the grungiest man like trying to be a bit of a sweetheart while also very clearly trying to get laid.
Yeah. Whereas this is a little more. It feels less like it's trying to be clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like the waters here are muddy.
The waters are a bit muddy. He's muddying the waters, and it sounds very nice. There's a few instrumental things that happen. Like I do like early on, it gets a real like kick pulse in the drums, which is really cool. And then there's this nice like organ drone that is with the song throughout a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a good like even actually just like once it gets into the verse, it kind of drops down to like drums and organ. But I guess the big thing here is that there's constantly a guitar like playing like blues licks, like constantly. And at first I was like, well, obviously it's playing between lines. No. It's playing during the lines, and then it'll play again between the lines. There's another guitar that's like more rhythmic. It's still playing like a riff though.
Yeah,
like the riff from the intro. Like it's a riff while a different guitar is like.
They've essentially dedicated the left channel of your speaker here to Muddy Waters noodling. He's just hitting that guitar. Whatever he fucking wants to do.
Like the whole time. Sometimes it's going to follow the vocal melody a little bit. A lot of the times it's not.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And that's like a big part of the song. That's like the form of the song.
Yeah. This song is so natural. I'll tell you why this song is so natural. There are hand claps, and I think it's just one person clapping their hand. You probably don't even notice it. Like it comes up
you're
so
right.
like
I'm hearing it
randomly.
now. It just sounds like there's a person who's like, well, there's no like harmonica part in this song, so I'm just gonna clap instead.
I'm just gonna clap.
That does make it feel much more like organic.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. There is a guitar solo.
Yes. It's called The Whole Song. No.
The Whole Song. No, there's like a legitimate, more or less guitar solo after the second like verse chorus thing. I think there's no third verse.
Yeah, I think that's correct. We just ripped some guitar for a bit. So like 205, we go into the instrumental space.
Yeah. I would even argue a little before that, like 155.
Okay.
Because like right when he stops singing Together Now, and then
yeah, you're right. I was just slowing my note.
Also, like sometimes title timestamps are weird.
Yeah, title timestamps.
If you jump around too much, they start to like shift a bit. You have to restart the song, or it will just tell you the wrong times for everything.
Yeah, it's done that to me before, and maybe did it here. But yeah, 155. We enter the solo zone, and yeah, you can even hear the bass here kind of grooving too. I couldn't really hear it anywhere else.
There's no vocals to cover it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cool solo. It's got like a real good, like rounded sound to that guitar.
Yeah.
Which, as you mentioned, always in the left channel.
Yeah, always there. And that's
But
like
there's two guitars.
there's two guitars. Yeah, there's the other one is like the more rhythm guitar in the right end.
Yeah, even though like for a rhythm guitar, shockingly like
Active.
does noodle a bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't just strum. Yeah. And then like it's an outro after that.
Yeah, and then you know what genre is known for some outro and ad-libbing is blues.
It's the blues. Oh, be together, woman.
Oh, woman, I want to be together. Like everything's there. That's perfect. I was really because whenever I hear Muddy Waters, I'm like, imagine the oldest rock and roll possible. I feel like it's gonna be boring and kind of stiff. This is good stuff.
Yeah, there's something about like that old rock and roll can feel a bit like sterile sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Or dated at least. So for some reason, I guess the blues, we don't really do the blues, especially not in like popular music. Like we do, and the blues influence in a lot of things, but like straight blues is not that common, especially like this kind of straight blues. So as much as it's like a bit like it dated in the sense that it's older, it doesn't necessarily feel as much just because we haven't heard as much of it. We haven't been hearing it evolve. I'm sure it has evolved outside of the like popular music sphere. But when I hear it, I don't necessarily think like, it's the 60s or early 70s. I'm just like, a blues song.
Yeah, it's called the blues, the timeless thing, the blues.
Yeah. So I don't know. For what it's worth, it doesn't sound dated to me. And I mean, yeah, it's Muddy Waters. He's a legend in the scene. And
yeah, it sounds good. It's a year off of the original. Like this is pretty hot off the press. Like pretty quick after the Rolling Stones released theirs, and it sounds very different. It's a good version of my books, but let's see what we find out about the next version in 1972. It's Claudine Longet.
Let's spend the night together. Woman needs you more than ever. Let's spend the night together.
yeah, French American singer / performer. Interesting stories on the Wikipedia page. Personal
she accidentally
friends.
shot her boyfriend.
She shot her boyfriend accidentally, at least. Notably, personal friends with RFK Sr. and his wife Ethel, to the extent that they like attended RFK's funeral after his assassination.
And was that before or after she shot her boyfriend?
Before, because that was when she was with her husband.
Andy Williams.
They divorced later, and then she was dating this Spider Sabich guy. I hope I'm saying that right.
It's got to be Sabic, right?
Sabic?
Otherwise,
I don't know,
it sounds like you're saying Spider's a bitch.
Spider's a bitch. Vladimir Spider Sabic Jr., who was an alpine ski racer. Also American, like he's from California.
Right.
Just, his name's Vladimir because his parents are probably from I think Ukraine, something like
Ukraine,
that.
yeah. Eastern
Anyway,
Europe.
But another fun thing taken from the Wikipedia page, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards wrote a song about his death that was supposed to be on Emotional Rescue. It was called Claudine. And they didn't do it. It was like they decided it was too controversial and they took it off the album. But it's like a bootleg. You can get it as a bootleg, and it ended up on, they did like a deluxe reissue of Some Girls in 2011. So the Rolling Stones have a song about this person.
Okay, who then, I wonder if she would have covered this still if she knew that the Rolling Stones wrote a song about it.
It was 1980 when they wrote it. So
that's right, because this
is
72.
1972. So, I mean, maybe, but this is like much before that, before any of these things happened.
And
so
perhaps, yeah.
This is another Boomerang song.
This is another Boomerang song. Comes back around. And one of the weird things about this song, where like Muddy Waters is like, oh yeah, Rolling Stones will make it like electric blues. We'll bring it back to the source, kind of hard rock, a little bit, rough around the edges.
Sure.
Claudine's like, what if this was the softest song imaginable?
Yeah, it is, but I do feel like part of it is trying to make it like soft in like a feminine sense.
Maybe.
Without necessarily making it less salacious. This is like kind of the, I think, somewhat salacious version.
Okay, you think there's a seduction here? I think this sounds like
It's soft.
Legend of Zelda shop music.
Yes, it does sound like Legend of Zelda shop music. There's a few lines changed.
Okay, what do you got for me?
I only have a few. She does say, "Mama needs you more than ever."
Ooh, that is
155
salacious.
timestamp. And then this isn't that much different, but she does, instead of "we can have fun just grooving around," she says
Yeah.
"we can have fun just fooling around."
A few people do that,
Yeah,
and
which
she's
maybe
one
that's.
of them.
I do feel like as much as it is soft, I think it's supposed to be a little bit like ooh, if that makes sense.
Yeah, am I supposed to be like seduced by this like hand percussion? And this is like you're coming to some hippy dippy chick's house. You're like, whoa, she does things a little differently here.
With the hand drums.
Yeah.
And there's hand drums for sure. But yeah, it's very soft. Bum, 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 bum.
And like what is that woodwind? That thing that's it's like a Goron noise.
Yeah, this is the Goron City version of the
Like
song.
1,000% it sounds like it.
Ooh. What is? Do you have a timestamp on the
It's like fucking right off the bat.
right off the bat? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. It does sound like Goron City.
Yeah, it's like they're using the same because that like yeah, it's like the same thing. It's got to be some kind of blow into it instrument.
Yeah, it almost sounds like a jug.
A jug.
Ooh.
A jug's a good call.
Oh, like, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's weird. And then there's like a like a chime.
Yeah, sort of chime percussion.
Yeah.
This is
or maybe
yeah.
like
I
a
feel like
small
you're
cymbal.
invited over to afternoon tea by Claudine. She's also European, so like they do things
Yeah.
a little softer there.
They do things a little softer in France,
Yeah.
unless they're striking. But this isn't
be.
striking.
If the Bowie version is bigger, louder, hornier, this is smaller, softer, and also hornier.
Yeah, and also still horny.
Yeah.
In like a different way.
In a European way.
In a European way. There's like some interesting elements. Maybe not a ton. I'm trying to find the guitar arpeggio that I wrote down.
Is it maybe like 110?
Do-do-do-do-do.
That's the first instance I get of what I've written as cool guitar. where
Yeah,
it's like,
there's a guitar which is like a bit Beatlesy almost. Not all Beatles, but like I'm trying to. That's like my point of comparison. I'm like that could be George Harrison.
I got another one around like 140.
Yeah, that's like kind of the guitar. It definitely feels like this is like pop music from
Yeah.
1972. That's maybe a little behind the curve.
Right, because it's doing the hippy dippy pop of like the folk
Yeah.
pop.
And then, but yeah, it is a lot of soft sounds, like you said. What's interesting, like in the chorus, the chords are like really blocky, and like the piano percussion goes on.
Oh yeah, just that like dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, exactly.
dun, dun,
It almost
dun.
sounds like they're playing it on like a synthesizer, but they wouldn't have like a cheap Yamaha in 1972, I don't think.
Yeah, there is like a synth element to there after or during the guitar solo.
Okay.
I'm trying to say I of course didn't timestamp the one thing. Oh, it's like a woodwind synth, so around like 239.
Okay.
Or is it 29 rather, sorry.
Yeah, there are the fluty sounds. Yeah, which could be a flute, but almost
Could
seems
be a
like not.
flute.
Which maybe could be like a mellotron or something. It's also 72, so it's not like they don't have synthesizers.
Yeah. I think it could be a synth element. Because just the tone on it is so
Or an
like
organ.
weird.
Sometimes organs can be very fluty.
Oh, organs can toot like that. That's true.
Yeah. So it could be like an organ, or like maybe even like a combo organ that they don't make anymore. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those sorts of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
electronic, like old school electronic stuff.
All this to say, it is a musically interesting version.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it's like much, much softer. But yeah, it feels kind of more laid back. Everything sort of fits, and it's a little more like, I don't know. I called it salacious earlier, like kind of like there's a sultriness to it.
Yeah, it's
Even though it's more laid
Seduction
back.
by Claudine Longet.
Yeah, but it's a different approach from the other versions for sure.
Let's just make sure her fucking gun's locked away.
Don't show her how to clean a gun or whatever the story was that got her off of like direct murder charges
Yeah,
and onto like accidental homicide.
unreal.
Or it was like negligent homicide. I
Yeah, it
think
was
yeah.
homicide by negligent or negligent homicide, something like that. But we would be negligent if we didn't move on to 1973 to talk about David Bowie.
Let's spend the night together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together now.
Oh, we sure would. This is the Bowie version. This is Aladdin Sane.
Yes.
So Aladdin Sane is an album we haven't talked about a ton, I don't think.
We talk about the piano solo from the title track, I think.
We like to bring it up
semi-regularly.
sometimes.
I like to bring it up at least.
It's very interesting. This song has some of that. This piano player whose name I wrote down and is here somewhere, Mike Garson.
Mike Garson, yeah.
A jazz piano player who like fits in with this like heavier rock and roll sound pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Pretty impressively. But Aladdin Sane. So Aladdin Sane, if anyone is not familiar, the follow-up to Ziggy Stardust. Aladdin Sane, the character has been described as American Ziggy.
Yeah, Ziggy in America, as I believe.
Yeah.
The exact phrasing.
Exactly. That's
and
that
if
makes
you've
sense.
seen the album artwork, you know the lightning bolt. This is where that comes from. A lot of people assume that is Ziggy Stardust because it's a very famous image,
right.
and people aren't quite as familiar with Aladdin Sane. It's very interesting that outside of this album cover, he's never worn this makeup live in a performance. He's had it like on banners, I believe, but never actually worn it.
Yeah, the Aladdin Sane like lightning bolt, the like red and blue lightning bolt is pretty iconic as an image. But yeah, it's interesting that it comes from this album that's like, I like Aladdin Sane. I've heard it considered like, oh, it's more of Ziggy, which is not really true in my mind. Not really
true. I think Ziggy in America is actually a very good summation of it.
Yeah, because the character Aladdin Sane is, I think, supposed to be like an actor. You know, he's the cracked actor. He's not like an alien rock star.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's similarities. Obviously, he like has the same hair, right? He has the red mullet.
Yes.
Throughout this whole era. But yeah, it's I mean, this is really where like you get into that sleaze, right? More so certainly than Ziggy Stardust, and like it sort of carries into like Diamond Dogs, which we have talked about.
Which has like what Ziggy has is like dystopia in it, which carries into Diamond Dogs as well. Yeah, and you get a bit of like Ziggy Stardust songs do talk about like kind of the death of the hippie era and this shift to like darkness, but then the real sleaze, the like sort of embracing of the shit era that is the 70s and being like, well, if things are going to be gnarly and gross, so are we, comes with Aladdin Sane, and it comes through the lens of David Bowie traveling by bus because apparently he's afraid of flying across America as he tours. So he gets all of this in. People also call it a very disjointed album, which I think I disagree with.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the sound holds it together. You know, like it's not exactly Ziggy. It's harsher in a lot of ways, and a big part of that is the piano, because it's so often like atonal, and we get that in this version or this song. Also, like we always talk about the solo in Aladdin Sane, feels like totally detuned and atonal, but like it has a weird logic to it, but it sounds like wrong, but also very cool. Yeah,
and I forgot that we get that like right off the bat in this version.
Yeah, it's like heavy banging like chords that again seem wrong, like it doesn't sound pleasant in a traditional sense, but it also like works. It definitely feels like just banging on a piano, but it's also impressive that like I'm sure it's very difficult to do it like this.
Yes.
But if you just bang on but you make it sound like it's not, and that's an impressive thing to do when you're like good enough at something that you make it seem very easy, but it's very complicated.
Absolutely. And it brings in these elements of like jazz and theater that we're getting like also in just the tempo of this version because it's so much faster. I feel like we get a real look into the mind of the character here who is proposing this night together through the music. We start with like an engine noise, but first I think I want to go over lyrical changes because there are a few and additions as well. The first one being "Don't you worry about what's been on my mind."
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize the original wasn't like that because that's what I always hear. I always remember like the way David Bowie kind of screams this song. It like sears the words into your mind in a way that the Rolling Stones version does not.
Yeah, this song. It feels like a frantic message. He delivers it so like powerfully right down the line to your brain. It's a solid piece of work. But yeah, don't you worry about what's been on my mind. Maybe aiding in the pussy eating interpretation of this, because he's like, don't worry about what I gotta say. I'm gonna just get down there and
ignore me, not I'm ignoring you. Just ignore me.
Just ignore me. I'm gonna go to town here and we're gonna spend the night together.
Yeah.
The other big one, I don't know if it's the addition of a very salacious verse here. They said we were too young, our kind of love was no fun, but our love comes from above. Do it. Let's make love.
That's a fun part. You get like two different Bowie vocal styles. Yes. You get kind of the angel and the devil almost.
Do it.
Do it. And then the guitar. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Mick Ronson on this song. Like, yeah, dude. He's not as flashy as like the piano, because the piano's really like taking the spotlight musically, like instrumentally,
of course. Yeah,
but Mick Ronson, like, even, I mean, we're big Bowie heads, we know the difference between the albums, differentiating between Ziggy Stardust and this, like, you really get that like heaviness from Mick Ronson, and like, yeah, he's putting in work here, man.
Yeah, it's and make it. Yeah, it's just all like flash and energy. If it's not complex, it's just big impact.
Yeah, and then they like get into that riff. And anyway, you're talking about the lyrics. I'm
talking about the lyrics.
Music.
We're gonna get there quick. I'm gonna get through this. So, kind of two interpretations of that verse. Some people like to think of it as sort of like a queer love, like power move, where it's like they said we were too young. Our kind of love, pointing to that line, was no fun.
Yeah.
I think the other play on that is simply that, just like, again, that sort of repressive era, just being like, hey, people shouldn't be having sex. And he's like, well, actually having sex rules and it is like divine. So we're going to fuck.
Yeah. And it's like, they said we couldn't, I'm trying to think of another example. There's definitely another example, but I can't think of it right now, of just like, they said we were, is it
Tommy James and the Shondells?
Yeah, I think we're alone now.
Yes.
Right. Just like, you know, they called us children. They said, like, we can't do this, but like, we're feeling this, right? So why not? Yeah, it's definitely that like young person approach.
Yeah. And how good is it that we were too young and not you were too young?
Yes. Really glad it's we. Really glad it's not you.
Yeah.
One word could definitely change this song quite a bit. But I do like the album, Aladdin Sane, similar to Ziggy Stardust, has like kind of a like story to it, but it's very, very loose, right?
Yeah.
So in this one, you can contrast this song, or compare this song, I should say, with Drive-In Saturday. And Drive-In Saturday kind of has this story that I didn't even notice for the longest time, but it's like, it's about like again, a post-apocalyptic future, but like we forgot what sex was, basically. And all we have are these archival porno films, basically, and that's the only way anybody knows about sex, is they're watching
watching porn,
like porn. I would say VHSs, but I don't know if 1972 that would have existed then.
Reel to reels.
So yeah, it might be reel to reel pornography. And then so it's like these young people who are like, all right, let's try this thing. All we know about is pornography, but like, we're gonna try to do it. And I guess that's where I learned, apparently it's a bit of a stereotype, at least in like the UK, that like the man in porn is named Buddy.
Like the video. I'm looking at it now. I
The video
never
films,
got
yeah.
that.
I know. Like I had to look that all up.
Now that you've said it, I'm reading the lyrics crystal clear.
Yeah, like it's in there. You compare that to this song, and there's kind of that in there too, of like it's young people who are like really trying to embrace this thing that they really don't necessarily understand, but they feel.
Yeah.
And that's why it fits so well in with the album, you know? And of course, the way they perform it also really emphasizes that, and like the sleaze of the whole thing. Because at the end of the day, it is kind of aware that like it's a person in their 20s singing this, you know?
Mhm.
That's part of why it's so sleazy, and it gets presented in this really sleazy way.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Also worth noting in Driving Saturday, when people stared in Jagger's eyes and
Yeah.
scored.
And scored.
Because they got laid afterwards.
It got
I don't
laid
know.
after staring in Jagger's eyes. Was
Yeah.
it by Jagger? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, possibly. It's allegedly happened to David Bowie.
Yeah,
Not at this
allegedly.
time, though.
Allegedly.
But those are the lyrical changes. Yeah, it's a masterclass album. Aladdin Sane is incredible.
I know. Yeah, it gets, I mean, people like this. Obviously, the imagery is iconic. It gets a little bit forgotten. But yeah, there's some, I mean, really good stuff. I also like the slower stuff where the piano gets to shine, like Lady Grinning Soul and Time.
Oh,
and,
yeah, and Time.
Like, oh man.
Yeah, there's like these like theater feeling pieces, like very like cabaret style almost. You have
Yeah.
like callbacks to like American doo-wop and stuff with like Prettiest Star and a bit of like
Yeah.
Driving Saturday. Listen, folks.
Driving Saturday is like my go-to example for like a rock and roll / pop song that is in 3/4 time. So thank
Hey,
you, Driving Saturday.
Thank you, Driving Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff on there, and just like the like filthiness of Cracked Actor.
Oh yeah.
There's so much to this album, and yeah,
So
it
much to
is-
love
it
here,
is-
and this cover's no
sleazy.
exception, even though some critics did pan it. We start with like a space rock and roll motor just fucking activating.
Yeah, it seems to be. So David Bowie is accredited with playing the ARP synthesizer here. So it seems like we come in with like a heavy guitar chord, and then it
Yeah.
sort of slides into this sound on the ARP, like
Yes.
smooth slide into that. Very cool sound.
Very cool. And then from that into what we talked about, this discordant piano.
Yeah, which you still get the kind of like bum 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 ba bum ba ba da, but like the actual chords playing are like wild.
Yeah, it's nuts. And then boom, we fucking crack into the groove. We got the bass holding down that groove that I think is in the original, but it's brought so much more forward. It's so much louder in this track. And guitar giving us licks. It's like the elements of the Stones version are there. They've just been fucking like cranked up.
Like very much amplified, right?
Yes.
Yeah, oh my gosh. And then yeah, that's just like the energy they bring to it. It like there's no reason to think this is not a David Bowie's like an original song, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as we always say, he always does something with his covers, right, to make it his own, and this is no exception. Even though like I mean, the structure's more or less the same. The riffs are all still there, but like the presentation is so strong. And obviously like it kind of fucking cooks, man.
Yeah, he's like vocally he's delivering insanity. The song is cooking at a pace. That piano, you never know what it's going to do next.
Yeah, that's the thing about the piano here, man. Could do anything.
And then like yeah, random ARP synth too. Like you get it again at 33 seconds. It's just like fuck it, hit the spaceship button.
Yeah, every once in a while. They're like, remember, David Bowie is associated with science fiction, so we gotta do a whoop.
Yeah, just hit that real quick so they know what they're listening to.
So that's fun. I really like, I mean, on the topic of the bass, it's doing a lot. Like the song is moving, and the bass is often will like jump to like intervals that play on the pre-chorus. So I have a few examples.
yeah.
I think like 35 seconds, but then like
Yeah.
113, they're like but like real fast intervals.
Yeah.
Because this song cooks.
The song cooks. It moves so quick. That like we get into that smiling section at 127, I believe.
Yeah, when it slows down. And it just
Mhm.
kind of like goes to the cymbals and like guitar chords. But even that's like, I didn't realize, I guess that's the first time, right? That's not the poem section.
No, so those are two different sections.
Yeah, that's the bridge. And it slows down, but like the drums are like doing a drum roll basically the whole time, like doing a fill.
Yeah, so even in this like semi like wind down space, we're still fucking going nuts.
Yeah. And then back into another chorus with a new guitar lick.
Yes.
Banana, bam, bam. So like, yeah, Mick Ronson. I mean, I feel like it just in this era, it just feels like everyone's putting in overtime, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, we've been talking about Trevor Boulder on the bass, and like obviously Mick Woodmansey is like really, really holding it down with the drums. We already mentioned like all the cymbals and like the drum fills on that last section. That's like, it's a breakdown, but they're really all still going.
Yeah, why don't we just load it with drums anyway? It's like there's no part of this song that ever stops going its hardest. That's also what makes it crazy is that it's a cover. And these guys they're leaving everything on the field, man. And there's not, it's the best. Like, it kills.
Yeah. We talked about I Feel Free recently, and about like, oh, they played it, but like they didn't think it was good enough, and like never recorded it, and kind of like maybe only played it once.
Yeah.
And like I could see why, if this is your standard that you want to work on.
Yeah, if this is what you're aiming to achieve with every cover.
Yeah, you gotta probably discard a lot of things. But yeah, excellent. So the other thing that happens, so it kind of, goes through a chorus, and then when we're leading into that third verse, there's like really like plinky guitar. So if you go into like I think it's about 210 or so, you get the like you get those nice like guitar chord or piano chords.
Yeah.
And then another one of those synth sounds. And then the next chorus kind of like, it breaks down like slowly. It like slowly cuts down over the course of it, and then you start to get like sounds. And then that's the like suggestive part of the suggestive nature. We get it really explicitly near the end of this section.
Right.
But like you get the like saxophone being like, you get these really like guttural sounds.
Yeah, and some of that like very Aladdin Sane, like just trickles of keys here and there.
Yeah. It's amazing that sound is, as far as I can tell, exclusive to this album.
Yeah.
Even though this guy kept working with David Bowie for like many years.
That's just how much juice this guy's got in the
tank. This guy's got juice.
Like,
Mike Garson, I feel like he's also like a Scientologist or something. But like, he's good at the piano.
Yeah. Maybe I should get into Scientology.
It seems to work for some people, right?
Yeah, and this slow wind down we do with like errant noises popping off here and there, and then we get to David Bowie being like, "They said our love was no fun."
Doing that whole thing,
and then fucking ripping it with do it,
and then the guitar there. Also very guttural. Like we're starting the engine, man.
Yeah. So you get this like tenderness, like ride down into the like in bed section. Yeah. And then it's like, let's do it. Ooh, sleazy guitars back on full blast.
Yep. And then just like break back into like a chorus for one last one before it just like it's over.
Yeah, with him doing a big huh!
Yeah. Yeah. He even like puts like the my's in, because he does like, oh my, but like it's very Bowie, but it's still like, the line from the original. So very cool.
Still the line from the original. And yeah, a nice clean finish on this. Let's spend the night together now. Boom. Cut it.
Yeah.
You're done.
Excellent. Yeah, I do like how it like, excuse me, I'm just burping into the microphone.
Hey, perfect. That's what the audience comes here for, man.
How you get that like tenderness, raunchiness mix in that breakdown section.
Yes.
Very cool. Whereas it's just like very sleazy overall, but you kind of like get a little bit of the like innocence almost, because it is theoretically about like young people.
Yeah. So yeah, you get that real nice young love speech, which feels like it was written by somebody young.
Yeah.
It's like, our love comes from above, man.
Exactly. It's divine.
It's divine,
Let's make
dude.
Love. Yeah. That's David Bowie, man.
Yeah, perfect. No notes. 1974, Jerry Garcia.
Let's spend the night together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together now.
Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead.
Boy, does this sound like the Grateful Dead.
Boy, does this sound like the Grateful Dead? It's like folk rock boogie. I would even compare it to like, we talk about the band, like roots rock stuff, where it
Yeah,
just kind of feels like
100%.
everyone's sort of noodling with some idea of what else is going on. But it kind of has that feel to it. I also looked it up. This is around the, this is the year, this is 1974, right?
Yes.
1974 was when the Grateful Dead were briefly using the like wall of sound speaker PA system.
Okay.
I don't know if he ever performed this song with that, but like this is when that was going on. So this is like the height of the Grateful Dead, and then they were like, "Fuck, this is too expensive."
Right. And
/
this
complicated.
does have like a wall of sound sensibility in that there's a lot of fucking instruments going on.
There's
here.
a lot going on. Yeah. Really like high guitar part off the beginning, which might actually be
That's a
a
harmonica
violin
off the bat.
or a harmonica.
I believe
Yeah.
I think it's a harmonica. I don't know. It could be a violin.
It
or like
feels
a-
smooth, so it could be like an electric violin or something. But it's got a smoothness that I wouldn't necessarily expect from a harmonica. But I don't know. Maybe that's just
I
how
don't
this
know.
person plays the harmonica.
It has like a blown tone into it that makes me
It
feel
does.
like it's breathy.
Yeah, and it's also like, but it's amplified in such a way that it doesn't necessarily sound like the original version of whatever instrument
Whatever
it
it is, yeah.
Yeah. So
Tell you what, a compelling intro nonetheless.
it is. Yeah. Very cool. And then you kind of get that like sound space of like, we're doing the sounds. Everything's doing the sounds. Does that make sense?
Everything
There's
is
good
doing the
sounds.
sound. There's good
Everything's
sounds.
got like a little riff that it's just doing.
Yeah, there's like kind of crunchy stuff at the bottom. You got drums just kind of filling in where they like. The keys come in with the guitar to do a bit of the like chorus melody before we hit the
Yeah.
vocals. It's very rich.
Yeah, as Jerry Garcia sings in like his very American Beauty era voice.
100%. And
Even though this is a few years after that, it's still the 70s.
in terms of voices that sound like this guy does want to have sex and has had sex before, Jerry Garcia's got it. He's got some of that laid back riz.
He does. He does. I don't have like a lot of other notes about this, but definitely like this, like you said, it's kind of got that like wall of sound thing going on, and it's almost seems like it's meant to be played in a crazy, complex PA system where every instrument has its own like set of speakers.
Yeah, 100%. We get a solo here. He says, "Look at the sky, baby." Around 150 instead
Because
of
he's a hippie.
yeah, because he's a fucking hippie. He really does like nail this somehow. Where it's like
Yeah, in this like hippie context.
yeah,
Folky hippie context. Yeah, I stand by folk rock boogie though. It feels like you can move to it, but it's also like kind of softer in terms of the sounds he uses. But it's definitely more like free love than whatever
yeah.
David Bowie was
This
doing.
is a free love man for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you like the Grateful Dead, if you like Jerry Garcia, you're gonna like this. Easy breezy, groovy, a little rootsy. Let's move it into the years possibly 1981 to 1984
Yes.
with Steeler.
Baby, oh my, let's spend the night together. Now I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together now.
Steeler, a relatively short-lived hard rock band, but it really seems like a lot of their members went on to do other things.
Yeah, Cavalcade, dude. The biggest one I saw was Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah.
But there's
Yngwie
Yngwie
Malmsteen.
Malmsteen.
I think it's just st.
No, I'm
inside.
giving. Listen, man. If you want to have the V, you got to have the St.
Hey,
Okay. Not
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Anyway,
Steen.
who's not really someone I know that well, other than I know he's like a very good guitar player. He's
Yeah, I
known as
think
being very good and
we've
like
had him
plays
on
very
the show
fast.
before, which I mean we've talked
Complex.
about him.
Yeah, we did talk about him a bit.
And yeah, so it does seem like you get a lot of heavy metal names that run through this band, and it's like 3-year runtime.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why this cover here sounds like nothing at all.
Sounds
dude.
like any other like hair metal group from the early 80s.
100%.
Like this could be Def Leppard, this could be The Sweet, this could be Loverboy or Triumph. Like this
Yeah.
could be whoever.
Anybody, dude, on like an off day because it's so generic sounding. Like,
Yeah.
it is pretty plain, pretty boring. It's got high energy, sure.
Yeah, like they do a fine job of it. It's like an acceptable metal adaptation. You know, everything's moved to this distorted guitar that has like, it sounds like, hey, that's what a 1980s hair metal guitar sounds like. We don't have piano, we don't have organ, maybe a little organ later on. I don't think there's organ. And then like the vocals are high pitched. Right? They sound like metal vocals, but like nothing
Yeah.
about this really stands out as like a hard rock / metal song.
Yeah, not even like great hard rock vocals. He's holding up in that high range, but I've heard better dudes do it. Like,
Yeah, like Rick Emmett could probably crush this.
yeah,
Or like I said, anyone from those other bands I mentioned.
yeah, and like the chorus is fun. Everybody's singing in. You could get the same result from your local glam metal band.
Yeah, it also has that kind of feeling of like, yeah, this would be fun live, but there's not much else to
Yeah.
it. Like, why is this a recording and not just like a fun thing you do at your performances? Yeah, it's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's competent, but also it doesn't really stand out. in any
Competent,
way.
boring, like, yeah, there's just not much going on here. One that I'm excited to talk about because there's some weird stuff going on though. In our final cover this week, 2008's Barry Hay.
Yeah, Barry Hay, or as I didn't know this when I put this on the playlist, but the guy from Golden Earring.
Yes, the frontman for Golden Earring, known for, I think, Radar Love is their biggest hit.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
That's their I Love Twilight Zone was the first song of theirs I ever knew.
Twilight Zone. Okay.
Great song. It starts out with like a spoken word intro. Somewhere in a lonely hotel room, there's a man about to realize that eternal fate has turned his back on him.
Oh,
It's 2 a.m.
It's 2 a.m. That does
It's
sound like it would be
2
on the
a.m.
Twilight Zone. Is it
Yeah.
from the show The Twilight Zone?
I don't know.
Did that show exist when that song came out? I don't know.
I would bet it
Um,
did.
I bet it
Twilight
did.
Zone was black and white.
Oh, that's
fucking
true.
Golden Earring.
Anyway, Barry Hay as well as the group Golden Earring are Dutch. They're from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
The Hague.
The Hag. That's what
Den Haag.
call your mom. Got him. I'm kidding. Your mother's a lovely lady. And this is from an album of his called The Big Band Theory.
Yeah. So
So-
I don't know if this is with Metropole Orchestre, but there's like a live version with that.
I believe it is, because if you look at the full album art,
What does
you
it
can
say?
even see it. It says Metropole Big Band, which I'm going to assume is the Metropole Orchestre.
Oh, maybe I read it wrong on the video. It says Het Metropole Orchestre. I don't know.
Maybe they changed it to Big Band for like the title of the album, or maybe it's a selection of people from the orchestra, or there's also another group called Metropole and Big Band. 'Cause Metropole is surely not
Just
an
means like a
uncommon
city,
name.
right?
Yeah, City Big Band is the title.
Okay, all right. So it's city pop. No.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a big band version. However, it's
Mhm.
not exactly what I would expect, because usually when we say a big band version, it's like a throwback to like big band jazz, which this
Yes.
is not really that. It's much more like rock with the big band is
the
there.
tones are naturally big band, so even the way
Yeah.
the drum sounds, the way the horns sound, does harken to that. But yeah, the style of play is, like you said, much more modern, much more rock and roll.
Yeah, like the intro makes it sound like it'll be like, let's spend the night together. Now I need you.
Yeah, you think this
more
is gonna
than
be
ever.
Richard
like,
Cheese, like
yeah, exactly, Richard Cheese kind of thing. But it's not, which I can respect.
I can respect.
And even at first, I was thinking like, there's not enough big band in this, and then they bring more big band. The band gets bigger.
Yes, because we do kind of strip down after that bombastic intro
Yeah.
to just a very kind of simple. We got drums, we got a bit of the rhythm guitar, we've got the ba-da-da-das like it's the original here.
Oh, that's true. We bring those back. And then at that point, I was like, this is just a rock version with a horn intro.
Yes,
But that's not the whole thing. You know,
That's
the
not the
horns
whole
do stick
thing.
around. They kind of do their crescendos. And then, like, with the blast at the end, we hear that
Yeah.
on horns.
they really get more
yeah.
involved.
Yeah, they will. Particularly in the second verse when the horns really take over and it gets very brassy.
That's right. Yeah,
Still not like a throwback big band sound, but it sounds like there's a big band there.
yeah. It's more like a throw together where you're like, well, it's rock and roll with big band supporting.
Yeah. And then of course his vocals, he doesn't sound like an old crooner or anything. He sounds like the guy from Golden Earring.
Yeah, it sounds like he's the guy from Golden Earring in 2008.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool because, like I said, I was a little worried about it at first, being like, wait, is it just a throwback? No, they don't do the throwback. Okay, are they just doing a rock and roll thing, but there's a band there that's mostly sitting there for this song? Okay, no, they bring it in. So that was good. I think
Yeah,
it is
they bring it in.
ultimately a pretty good combination of those two things.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Like you get a gradual increase in the amount of big band presence as you progress through the song. The vocal performances feel very fun. It feels like they like the song.
Yeah.
It's like leaning towards bar band, but with a little higher quality.
Yeah, it didn't like blow me away,
Yeah.
but it's at least like interesting to listen to.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool.
And very faithful to the Rolling Stones original version.
It definitely feels like that's what they're going for,
Mhm.
more so than, I mean, as much as I like the David Bowie version, I don't
Yeah.
know if it was successful enough. It's not like after the Bowie version, everyone covered that. And there's way more covers of this song. We're not even talking about like that many of them. This is even mostly older ones.
Yeah, you had to work really hard to get one in the 21st century when you
Yeah.
were putting this playlist together.
So very interesting. And there are more from that era that just didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting, though, that
Yeah.
the David Bowie version was released as a single in several countries and did hit number 19 on the Dutch single top 100 and number 21 on the Dutch top 40.
okay.
So if an artist this week was to have heard that version,
Probably would be these
probably
guys.
would be Barry Hay, yeah. But they would have also
yeah.
more likely heard the Rolling Stone version. So,
Yeah.
you know.
It is a Stones song, ultimately.
But ultimately, we're going to decide whether it should remain a Stones song. We're going to get into our final verdicts here, break down the worst version, the best version, and the horniest version. It's a song about sleeping together. Let's go with it. Alex, what's the
Let's
worst
do it.
version?
What's the worst version? I mean, I gotta give it to Steeler. It's
Yeah,
fine,
100%.
but you know, it just doesn't have the juice, man.
No.
It feels like a very generic hair metal cover of this song. Anyone could be playing, anyone could be singing. It could be done by any number of different bands from the era. It's fine, but ultimately not notable in any way.
Yeah.
More so than any of the other versions.
I think the facts are like Muddy Waters goes nuts. Claudine, in her own weird way, goes nuts. David Bowie, perfect. Jerry Garcia goes nuts. Barry Hay, pretty good. Like, Steeler, just kind of boring. It's, not a lot to hang on to there. So let's flip it. Let's get positive. What's the best version this week?
What is the best version this week? I mean, geez.
It's got to be
It's David Bowie,
right?
right? Like, he does so much with it. Not just, I mean, maybe it's not fair because we also like have a context around it. Like,
Mhm.
in the context of Aladdin Sane, it like fits very well, and it's got this Aladdin Sane sound to it. Whereas
Yeah.
everything else, I'm like, I don't know what Jerry Garcia was doing in 1974. Maybe it's a big deal if you're like a Jerry Garcia purist or like a big Deadhead.
Maybe.
But like, I don't know, man. I doubt it.
I doubt. I think the David Bowie version, even divorced from the album, it was released as a single.
Yeah.
It has just like you could pop it on the radio quality. It's got a high energy throughout.
Yep.
Ramps you up right
It's
in.
quick,
There's some
it's
there's
exciting.
some discordant. There's some more arty stuff in there.
Yeah, like I said, the
it's rock and
sound, like
roll.
it doesn't sound as much as it's like glam rock in the glam rock era. It doesn't
Mhm.
sound like anything else I've ever heard. Like Aladdin
Yeah.
Sane is very singular to me, and probably just generally.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal album. I was like a little worried having this being the track we talk about it because it's like Aladdin Sane's a great album. We're going to do the cover, and it's like it's a phenomenal cover.
Yeah,
It's so good. Yeah, best version, I think, and a best version in a week with some great versions.
yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, but who's the horniest, Alex?
Oh man, we have different approaches to horniness for sure.
I love that. I think this is
We
going
do.
to be an interesting category.
And like, I mean, Muddy Waters does a great job.
Yeah,
Claudine Longet, pretty convincing. David Bowie, very sleazy, very
Yes.
raunchy version. Even like Jerry Garcia's got a bit of it.
Jerry Garcia's got this hippie Riz thing. He's like a different take on Claudine's thing. They're playing
Yeah.
in similar areas.
Yeah, where it's softer. The other ones I wouldn't really include in this category.
Well, Barry, you would include literally in this category.
Literally, yeah.
It has the
Maybe.
most horns.
It has the most horns. Does his hair have? Does he have spiky hair?
Does he? I'm not sure.
No, he doesn't.
No, he's got regular hair.
Oh yeah, horns because it's
Horns.
a big band version.
Because it's a bit. Really? Come on, Alex.
It took me a minute. I was like a devil? Is he a devil? What are you saying about
I
the
was
Dutch?
I was trying to figure out why spikes were important. I was like, what the fuck?
It's hard not to give it to David Bowie.
Mhm.
I think I have to do that again.
Do it. Do it again, Alex.
There's a lot. There's a lot
I'll
that makes it horny.
let's see. I'll spread it out. I'll spread the love a little bit here. You know what? I'm not fully convinced it is horny, but I want it to be, so I'm going with Claudine. Let's go.
All right. Yeah.
You
It's
know,
got- it's got
something weird's
something
going
there.
on there. It's a seduction, the Claudine version, and that's the horniest thing of all. It's being
Mhm.
seduced.
It's true. It's just a different way of going about things.
Different way of doing it. But that's it for our final verdicts. You got a different opinion, similar opinion. Want to talk to us about a version we didn't talk about, of which there's like 1,000. Hit us up on the app, Blue Sky, at Snaky Me, at some Alex Wise Guy. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, suggestions for future episodes. You can also email those to us at covermepod@gmail.com. Talk to us there. Be sure to rate and review us. We're on all the apps. We're on your Spotify. We're on your Apple Podcast, Amazon Podcast, so Pocket Cast, Podurama, Podbean. We are everywhere. Everywhere podcasts are sold. Tell your friends, family, neighbors, and loved ones about us. I had an idea last night for what I was going to say you could do to promote this. Well, okay, this is a bit of a long shot. You know when you go to like certain stores and they will have like a picture printed out from their security camera of people who aren't allowed to shop there?
Sure.
Okay. And then I started asking myself if that's like a prank that any like prank YouTubers have done where they try to dress up as the person in the don't shop there picture and then shop there.
Okay.
And so maybe you guys can do this at your local shopperies. And then if you get like detained, I just shout out the podcast or something. I don't know. This is where the details get hazy, but like make the news is sort of the idea.
Make
And
the
get
news
us
to
as a
shout us
quote.
out.
In there. Be like, check out Cover Me Podcast, available on every podcast streaming platform. And that's what you can do this week to get the word out there. Or to start your own prank YouTube channel and then credit us in that video. Be like, got this idea from Cover Me Podcast. Shout out. And kick us a couple bucks or whatever. But that does it for today's episode of Cover Me. And as we always say on Cover Me, don't cover me up and don't cover me down.